The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. Here are the top stories of the hour. COVID-19 cases climbed 32% from April 17 to 23 compared to the previous week. The Health Department reports that over 3,100 new cases of COVID-19 were recorded last week, translating to a daily average of 450 cases. Of the new infections, 14 cases were considered severe or critical. Meanwhile, the agency warns the public against a circulating message on social media and messaging apps that provide inaccurate information about the Omicron XBB variant. The DOH was referring to an online post claiming that the variant does not cause patients to exhibit COVID-19 symptoms like cough or fever. The agency clarifies that in general, COVID-19 exhibits flu-like symptoms, including fever, cough, fatigue, loss of taste or smell, or sore throat, among others. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council has formed a team focused on mitigating the impact of the looming El Nino phenomenon. And the RRMC Executive Director Ariel Nepomuceno says this is in line with the President's call for a whole-of-government approach to prepare for El Nino. The proposed El Nino team will be led by the Interior Department. Members include the Departments of Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources, Energy, Health, and Science and Technology, as well as the Office of Civil Defense, NEDA, National Irrigation Administration, and the MWSS. Nepomuceno emphasized that there is a need to harmonize interventions of these concerned government agencies for El Nino. The NDRMC says a team will prepare for the possible worst-case scenario and identify and harmonize short-term, medium-term, and long-term solutions to address the impact of the weather phenomenon. Water levels in some of Luzon's major dams continue to drop. These include the Angat Dam in Bulacan, the La Mesa Dam in Quezon City, the San Roque Dam in Cordillera, and the Caliraya Dam in Laguna. As of this morning, water level at Angat is at 196 meters, over 15 meters below the normal high water level of 212 meters. La Mesa's water level meanwhile dropped by almost 3 meters, and San Roque Dam by over 44 meters. Pagasa explains that aside from the high heat, another reason for the lower water level is the increased water consumption, also caused by the hot weather. Note that 97% of water consumed by Metro Manila comes from the Angat Dam. The State Weather Bureau is expecting water levels to climb slightly once the rainy season comes by May or July. However, they warn that the expected El Nino phenomenon could again cause water levels to drop.
Tayo po ay halimbawa nasa critical area yung ating lugar, magkakaroon po tayo ng tinatawag na mga drought. Yung interruption is magiging grabe. Ngayon lang, di ba, meron na tayong naririnig, may mga rotational na parang water interruption, no? Siguro mas magiging matagal siguro kung talagang bababa yung level ng ating pong mga pinagkukuhanan ng tubig.
President Marcos is now calling various government agencies to prepare for the looming El Nino. Marcos says among the government's preparatory measures include the creation of the Office of Water Resource Management under the Office of the President. Marcos is also eyeing the use of so-called collection pools to weather the effects of an El Nino-induced drought.
Hindi naman masasabi na yung Pilipinas ay kulang sa tubig. Pagka bumuhos ang tubig dito, talagang sobra-sobra. Ang kailangan lang natin gawin, kolektahin natin yun. Kapag dumating ang drought, kapag dumating ang El Nino, meron tayong pagkukuhanan.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Diego Castro. President Bongbong Marcos vows to boost the country's capability to manufacture its own farm machines as part of his administration's goal to improve local agricultural production. The president says he aims to replicate work similar to that of the Philippine Center for Post-Harvest Development and Mechanizations, or PhilMech. He says PhilMech has long been producing machines that work from planting to post-production with the help of foreign partners. Culture Department.
Kung nakikita ninyo yung mga makinarya na naka-display doon sa labas, para naman tayo ay gumagawa na, nagmamanufacture na tayo ay ng sarili natin. Nang sa ganun, ay hindi na kailangan tayo umasa sa importation.
The president also says the Agriculture Department has begun its efforts to pursue food security in the country. This to cut back the country's dependency on imports.
Ang lahat ay kailangan natin tignan at pag-aralan para makahanda tayo na kung sakali man ito'y mauulit, tayo naman ay may gagawin. Meron tayong nakahanda at masasabi natin kahit na hindi na tayo mag-import, ay meron tayong sapat na supply na pagkain para sa ating mga mamamayan.
The government vows to keep a close eye on telco firms as the deadline for SIM registration looms. This as the number of registered SIMs as of April 23 barely hit 50% of active SIMs in the country, leaving the rest of unregistered SIMs to be deactivated beyond the deadline. The Justice Department warns telco firms not to create a, quote, opportunistic event as the April 26 deadline nears. The DOJ says telcos found taking undue advantage of the public will face repercussions.
Our eyes will be on the telcos not to take undue advantage of this. Kasi maraming consequences, may mga disappearing load na naman yan, mayroong pera na naman sa sa GCash. Maraming consequences to. Kaya dapat fair dyan ang mga telco.
And that's it for this hour. Join us again at 11:15 a.m. I'm Diego Castro. We are One News, all sides, all the time.